What's up, yos?
What's happening?
It's another day.
It's Monday.
It is Monday.
Record on a Monday.
Kind of weird.
Should do this kind of stuff on a Tuesday. It's more fun.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine.
it's fine.
Hopefully they finishes strong because it didn't start strong.
Well, happy Monday. Well, it's Monday morning.
There you go.
It is.
Yeah. By afternoon, it's nothing but reverb. God, it's so good.
There's another instance where if your headphones were on backwards, you wouldn't hear it right.
That's true. We were just talking about whether or not headphone.
Pretty sure I still hear it the same.
It would start in a different.
It's
right.
not going to matter.
It would.
Lefty righty. It was like righty lefty in that case.
Throws the whole thing off.
I wouldn't be able to identify it either way. So,
Well,
yeah.
You know what, though? Here we are. What's this, episode 5? It's episode 5.
did we scrap 3?
No, we kept 3.
Okay, then it's 5.
So it's 5.
Yeah.
So here we are on 5. Yeah, if you listen to 3, thanks for coming back. Yeah, 'cause
That was a rough road.
that was rough. But here we are, 5. We're here, and you know what? We didn't need to do this one 17 times.
Only twice.
Well, and kind of. It said SD card in before minute.
Still twice.
That's true. That's okay. It's all right. We're here. But you know what? You know what the biggest news is, though, from episode 1 till now?
I know.
You know?
I know.
What is it?
We got an email.
We have a fan.
Yep.
We have, yes. Well,
Is it fan mail or is it just an email?
Somebody took the time to send us an email to podcast at swintergroup.com.
Jinx.
Ooh, you already have a Coke. What are you drinking?
Coke.
I knew it.
Yeah.
It's because I can see it.
I'm all out of water.
It's because it's Monday.
That's right.
We'll be restocked. It'll be fine.
I wasn't prepared. I got the wrong headphones on. Wrong
That's
drink.
right. That's right. But no, yeah, Aaron from Lewisport, Kentucky emailed podcast at swintergroup.com. Aaron, thank you. Thank you for the email. We hope you hear this as well. This is great. We conversed a little bit back and forth, and he had some questions about, I'm guessing he's wanting to get into snow. So he wanted to know, what kind of solo guy actually handle. Particularly, he's got a 2018 Chevy 1500. So
So twice the amount of a 3/4 ton Ford.
That's bad.
It was bad. It was like he had a grudge against somebody.
Man, I tell you what.
What happened?
Nothing. You just don't rip it on Fords. It's fine. It's fine.
Anyway.
Yeah. So all right. So Aaron, our fan, has got his Chevy 1500. Wants to know what realistically what he can handle, and I mean I mean we get that question all the time. Guys are wanting to get started. They got a half-ton pickup, and inevitably they've been checking into it, and they think they can handle 17 Walmarts and 4 or 5 gas stations, and because they've got that truck and they're ready to go. And props to Aaron for asking the question and wanting to have get a little guidance on what's a reasonable expectation for what you can and can't do. So I think that really kind of breaks into a couple different things. Is first off, are you looking at do you want to do parking lot work or do you want to do sidewalk work? Because I think that your manpower is going to really dictate, a lot of what you're able to accomplish. So, when you're getting started, if you're a single, one-man show kind of deal, I mean, that's going to be really tough because it's going to be hard for you to be able to pull off, a significant amount of, parking lot work and sidewalk work, right? Right.
That's right.
Right. And so then, and part of the question that you've got there too is, so you spend a bunch of money on, getting your truck outfitted, and you're staring at that truck sitting there idling while you're shoveling the sidewalk off. That's kind of tough as well. So, you give some consideration to, how much do you want to invest in equipment versus, what can what kind of income are you going to be able to pull from that? So, if you look specifically at that half-ton truck, so let's assume for a second that you're going to use that truck for to get as much income and as much profitability generated as you can. So you're going to need to have somebody to help you on the sidewalks if you're going to be doing full service work. Because I'm trying to think about, I don't know that there's any real instance where if you're the single source provider for snow where you'd be doing just parking lots.
Yeah, there's a lot of, there are some properties that'll do the sidewalks on their own. And then if people want to get into doing homeowners associations and stuff like that,
yeah,
that's a good outfit or a good spot for someone doesn't have a whole fleet of trucks just yet. And
okay, that makes sense.
It's fairly easy work. It's almost misleading how easy doing a street it can be.
Okay.
You almost never have to back up. You're always going forward. You
Yeah.
just get it to the sides and go.
No, that's true.
It's fast work. The catch is they don't want the same service as a commercial property, or, some gas stations really want high service or anything on that side. But you may not be able to get the real high-end account, but you're also learning, so you don't really want the real high-end account just yet because you don't know what you don't know.
Sure.
And you don't know you're over your head until you are.
No, yeah, and by
And
that time
then
it's late.
it's really bad. You break down. The whole world hates you.
You get sued.
I've heard these stories happen. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
so there's definitely.
You knew a guy one time, right?
I knew a guy one time. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it doesn't go well, but it's definitely, these are stepping stones that everyone who wants to start out on their own has to learn. The other option is just to go find someone to work for until you get your feet wet enough that you feel comfortable with what you know you can handle.
Right.
And what you can handle on day one is not what you can handle down the road.
Sure. So so that may be something where, it pulls up a subcontracting, type opportunity where you've got a truck and you're going to outfit the truck, and you would like to get onto properties that are going to be more in that commercial realm. So you may look to try to find yourself, somebody to partner with and do some work with over the winter, where they allow you to have accounts where you can do just the plowing and potentially de-icing. But if you just got just a plow, well, then you're, at least you can do that as part of a team.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, right on. So for today, let's focus in on that half-ton pickup, and what are some options and things to consider when you're looking at outfitting that. So, so if you're looking at getting into that, one of the things that is going to be a big factor is going to be, how are you going to finance that thing? So, so whether you're going to go, used or new, we're going to, for the purpose of the conversation here, we're going to use, when we're talking about pricing stuff, we're going to use some new pricing, and we're going to use the Fisher, pricing for Fisher equipment, and we're going to use the retail price. So obviously the retail price is usually not what you're going to pay. You're going to be able to find equipment for, well below retail, either locally or online. But for comparison's sake, we're going to kind of use that. And then we're going to also look at, what you can do with that equipment and what you can actually expect out of your truck reasonably. And then kind of move from there. So if you're doing just work with the truck, now that's something where you want to, identify what your skill set is. So there's a lot of similarities in pushing snow to mowing grass, right? So, Brent, you've done a bunch of both. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it helps to have a plan. If you're most people are used to
a plan.
Most people know how to cut grass. If they've been doing it for commercially or even on their own yard, they know that eventually they have to come up with some type of plan, or where they're going to start here, they're going to end there, they're going to do a couple laps here, then do stripes here. Somehow, some way, there's a plan, even if it's not even really being thought about anymore. The same is true for snow. If you're doing streets, well, back and forth is pretty much the name of the game on that. That's pretty easy, and that's why that's kind of an easy one to start on. But if you're going to get into parking lots, that takes a lot more thought. And the first time you plow that, you're going to learn a lot, and then you're going to correct those mistakes you made. That'll make you faster, and just keep on learning.
Yeah, and I think a real big thing too is to have your plan in place on what kind of accounts you're going to go after as early as you can, because if by July you've got you've decided, okay, I'm going to go after my own accounts, and I'm gonna make that happen. Okay, that's fantastic. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to go try to go after your own accounts, and then also look for subcontracting opportunities, and then find yourself in a situation where you wind up overbooked. That's a really big deal, especially when you're getting started, man. The liability in snow removal is just so massive that if you're supposed to be someplace and you're not there, and then somebody slips and falls, or if there's a vehicular accident, or there's any type of damage that occurs, and you are the contract holder and you're supposed to be there and you weren't, it is not uncommon to see litigation that pops up where your insurance, you might not have enough insurance to cover the damages there, and that's something to keep in mind as well, is that there's we've done a fair amount of expert work here on slip and fall litigation where the individuals that fell actually passed away. They hit their head just just right, or they were, elderly and slipped and fell and then had complications that resulted in a fatality. And those are not lawsuits that you want right out of the gate. I mean, those can be really, really, really damaging to your business, your family. I mean, you got to be very careful with this. This is not a business that you get into and figure that you're going to just kind of skate around and not have any repercussions if you do a bad job. So really put a lot of thought into what you can do and how you can do it.
So I heard somebody say something this weekend that I thought really applies well to this, and it wasn't even in this industry, but it was no matter what you're doing, have a plan.
Yeah.
So that when it fails, you know how to adjust, and you can adjust more appropriately. If you go in here blind and you just start going, well, we'll figure it out as we go, it's going to take you a lot longer to figure out the right way to do it.
Right.
And, there's a million ways for us to explain this, what you can do, what you shouldn't do. But we don't know your accounts. We don't know what you're working with and whether. There's so many variables here. So your plan might not work for us, but that's because we're in different areas and different accounts and different things like that. Have something you can start with. That way you can adjust appropriately. Yeah.
No, absolutely. So we're gonna talk a little bit, more about that, here a little later on as well. But something, for right now, I think that if the main decision you've got to make is, do you think that this is something you want to do on your own, and you want to take the time to reach out to customers and make the sales calls and go to the appointments, do the meetings, try to get that ball rolling. And if you think that there's enough opportunity there to keep you busy, then have at it. If you're not sure if there's enough opportunity for that, and you're in a large enough metropolitan area where there's some larger snow companies around, you just walk on in and talk to them, or give them a call and say, hey, I'm looking to kind of get into snow and looking for work. I wonder if you can keep me busy. And generally speaking, as long as you've got insurance, they're going to be able to keep you busy. And ideally, they'll be able to give you some training and some help on getting started. So that may be something to kind of look at and try to help move towards. So I think that, is there anything else background wise that you can think of in terms of single guy getting started, half-ton truck that you'd want to consider before we start getting into more equipment-y stuff?
Not really. I just think a lot of guys are using the half-ton because that's the truck they're already driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not worried about financing it because they already have it. So they're just trying to find the equipment to put it to work. And then maybe, when that succeeds, they'll upgrade and get something bigger and better and keep on moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
when I was first doing it on my own, not working with the family, I had an S10, did sidewalk stuff. It was bad.
That's a whole nother.
It was hard.
A whole nother topic.
Yeah. That was rough. But then I've certainly plowed with with a half-ton. I had half-ton, just Ford F-150, and did a bunch of plow work with that thing. Actually, all over the Midwest too. That was kind of fun. So went up to Iowa. It was good.
Whatever gets you going.
Yeah, it was good. Lots of snow.
With an S10?
No, that was with the F-150.
Yeah. The S10 was in the bed.
Yeah, the S10 was in the bed. No, the F-150, that made it to, that was in Minneapolis, that was in Milwaukee, that was in Des Moines area as well. So
having a 1-ton versus a half-ton does not mean you're a better plow operator.
No.
You can make a bunch of money with a half-ton if you know what you're doing. The trick is to learn as quickly as possible, because we don't get to do this all year long.
Right.
And understand the dynamics of what it takes to do your job efficiently.
Well, and another really, I think a really important aspect to that half-ton is that the half-ton is going to be lighter weight than a Super Duty is going to be. And that alone can open up some opportunities for you if you were to go and look at facilities that have parking structures, elevated parking structures, parking garages, things like that. Those are you'll find that now we're seeing in the last probably 5-8 years, I guess, we've seen more regulation happen, and not governmental imposed regulation, but engineers that have gotten involved and said that the equipment that's on this particular garage deck has to be below a certain weight threshold. And so your half-ton pickup may be lightweight enough that you can get up on top of some of those garages and do work that some of the bigger trucks can't do. And if you're interested in potentially doing something as a subcontractor for another company in town, that may be a pretty valuable piece of equipment that you got there if they're lacking lightweight equipment. So that's something to consider.
Yep.
15 minutes now.
Agree.
It's break time.
Break time.
1, 2, or 3.
1.
Here we go.
Are you still mixing station gas and oil for your string trimmer, leaf blower, or chainsaw? Eliminate the mess and the guesswork with True Fuel, the original pre-mixed 2-cycle fuel. True Fuel is ethanol-free and precision-engineered for small engines, improving performance and extending the life of your outdoor power equipment. And True Fuel is available for both 2- and 4-cycle engines. Empower your equipment with True Fuel. Learn more at TrueFuel50.com.
You're listening to Turf's Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Now you can even ask Alexa to tune you in when you're home.
Isn't it nice when the weather cooperates and crews complete jobs on time and on budget? But weather can cause delays, and with paper route sheets, jobs get lost in the shuffle. That's why you need Aspire Crew Control scheduling software, an easy-to-use, flexible, and affordable solution that allows you to shift schedules with a single click. Try Aspire Crew Control for free at aspirecrewcontrol.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, here's to all the women in the green industry. Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Bam. There. Oh,
That's fine.
just put that anywhere, man.
That's fine.
Throw on your mic.
No, Mike tried to attack me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it have teeth? They go. Rawr.
Oh, a little bit.
One day you're going to be awesome at this.
What?
So one day we're really going to be awesome at this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
One day. Episode 227.
No, man.
Oh, wow.
This is episode 5, and you know what didn't just happen?
Huh.
The next commercial didn't just start playing.
Oh, we learned how to turn off autoplay.
No, I just had to uncheck them. I remembered. It's not like I figured out how to automate that.
Somebody should automate that.
Terrified of failure.
Oh, that's fine.
It's fine.
No
Totally
stress.
fine. Yeah. All right. Plows.
Plows.
Half-ton truck plows. Now, for listeners out there, they should be aware this particular office has some concerns. Not concerns
boy.
so much. There's a lively debate on plows that I don't think is going to be really able to be brought into this particular conversation.
Oh, yes, it will.
I don't know, because you cannot put an
There's not-
XLS on a half-ton.
I said there's not two sides of this argument on this particular truck.
Nope.
Oh, so
Only
I
recently
see.
can you even put a V-blade on a half-ton.
You know why?
It's not only recently. They brought it back.
Started and failed and then brought it back for round 2, I guess.
Yeah, but you know why? Because V plows are the best plow ever. It's not like the engineers sat down and man, we really need
Blanket
to figure out
statements
how
like that
to
are so easy to punch holes in.
Okay.
tell you.
It's
Yeah,
like
okay.
that. We're going to have a whole show on this one day.
That should be an episode.
We get a couple hundred listeners. We're going to have a debate on this, and we'll have a poll. And
Yeah.
we'll let the listeners decide who won that debate.
Oh, that could be fun.
Not who actually is right, but who won the debate.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
The art of spoken word.
So we're gonna need to bring. So we, yeah, but then you know what? That is not helping Aaron. We
need to help
We've now
Aaron.
wasted
It's
3
giving-
minutes of Aaron's time.
Giving him things to look forward to.
You know what? Maybe. Oh, you know what? You're right. Oh, you know what else I didn't do? You know what? We're not pros. I didn't say who we were, what we're doing here.
We're talking about snow.
Talking Winter with Swinter.
Yeah.
That's the name of the show. Talking Winter with Swinter.
Yeah.
My name's Ken Bogeman.
It sure is.
Zach Frame.
Yeah.
That's you.
It's me.
Brent Reeder.
Yo.
He's over there. That's right.
Way over there.
And we're talking Winter with Swinter.
That's what we're doing.
Here from the Swinter Group headquarters in St. Louis, Missouri.
We're talking half tons with Aaron.
Half tons with Aaron. Well, Aaron's not talking. I should have gotten Aaron's number and called him.
See.
Man. All right, Aaron. Send me an email with your number, and we'll totally put you on the next time we record. That'll be great. But you're going to send that email to
Podcast@swintergroup.com.
That's the one. It's the one. That's it. That's where you're going to send it to. So
we should talk about half-ton V-plows?
yeah, or just You want to start with V plows?
Well, technically, straight blade was your first one on your list there, but whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped ahead
Do
of the
whatever.
good stuff. We can go back.
Plows in general.
Yes. So all right. So let's start with this. So let's start with the differences between. So like if you go to SIMA's coming up here at the end of this month, right?
Yeah.
The symposium there, and if you go, there's every kind of gadget and gizmo for plowing that you could imagine is going to be there. And then if you're poking around online, you're going to see like homeowner grade plows, and then you're going to see actual commercial plows and everything in between. And so I think we ought to talk a little bit about when you're getting started, the dollar sign and the price tag's a big deal.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
And I think that you can be some of the like the homeowner grade plows, they're up down only, they don't go left right, or there's things like that are out there. If you've got a long driveway and you got to plow it, you can get this thing for your your SUV or your half-ton pickup. They advertise to that market of some of the lighter weight trucks, and man, I think that I really think that is the homeowner stuff is something that should be left for the homeowners. If you're looking at doing snow plowing and you're going to get paid for it, really look closely at the difference in price and understand what you're getting and why. Has our shop seen any of the homeowner stuff? I think we've seen one of those something. What?
No.
Okay.
We haven't seen any homeowner grade. We actually had the opposite. We had a homeowner buy a commercial plow.
Oh, that's even better
for his driveway. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So when you're thinking plows, don't be seduced by the really low price tags on some of those homeowner type setups. Just not a real good way to go when it comes right down to it. So try to get into a more professional style piece of equipment. And so then the next thing you're going to look at is, there's so many manufacturers out there that have varying price points, and most of them really are pretty solid when it comes right down to it. There's a few that aren't. If you've listened, we're a dealer for Fisher and SnowX. And the reason why we're in that realm is because we really believe that they're the best. I mean, Fisher's got some really, really nice stuff out there. It's not the cheapest, but man, it's tough.
Yeah, it is. It really puts in the work when you need it to.
Yeah, it'll take a beating. I think a really good middle of the road plow in terms of durability and price is going to be Meyer. I think that those are they're for the price tag. I think that you're going to be probably pretty well set. I mean, if you're in that Meyer, Snow Dog, Hinneker kind of ballpark, I think that Meyer is going to probably be the best of the cheap ones.
Of those you described, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I think
they're at least going to have a better quality to them.
Yeah. So I think if you come out of that homeowner grade stuff and you get into the brands that tout themselves as commercial, so again Snow Dog, Hinneker, Meyer, I think the Meyer is going to be the top of those. And then I think you get into now your Fisher, Western, Boss type setups, and now I think that's a different level. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I've never been a big fan of Boss, but I do respect their quality. My preference is more personal and not reliability based. So I've got nothing against having a Boss or anything like that. I think they're great pieces of equipment.
Yeah. So so you're looking at those, and now you get onto that half-ton truck, and so let's say you've settled in on you're gonna make the investment in a more expensive but higher quality piece of equipment, which is from my seat in the house, that seems to be the best way to go. I've never bought a high quality piece of equipment and looked back later and said, man, I wish I'd have bought the cheaper garbage. I've
not in this industry.
The thing is when your plow breaks, now you're in giant trouble. And especially as a one-man show, if you're broke and it's 2:00 in the morning and nobody around is open to get what you need or to get you fixed, that is a huge, huge problem. So especially if you're just getting started and it's your first one, do the very best you can to find the highest quality you can possibly put on your truck. And if for no other reason, think of it as an insurance policy. I mean, if you're able to do the job without breaking down, that's a huge deal. And then in terms of picking the actual plow itself, really on a half-ton pickup, your options are relatively limited to a straight blade or a V-plow. And the V-plows have only been out for, I think Meyer came out with the first pickup truck V-plow, and that would have been 8 or 9 years ago, maybe something like that.
Nobody else has had one until I think 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then 2 years ago, Douglas Dynamics figured it out, and I think they only released them with Fisher and Western, right?
SnowX does not have a version.
Yeah, I
know
think
that
it
for
did.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. So your options on a half-ton truck, I think, are going to be a Western, a Fisher, or a Meyer. Boss might make one. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
That's hard to say. They've got a V-plow for a 4-wheeler, though.
which is pretty cool.
That is pretty
I
neat.
think they're the only ones that have that.
Oh, did Fisher discontinue theirs?
Though they have it for the UTV.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
But for an actual 4-wheeler, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty neat.
That
That
is
is
pretty
neat.
cool.
Why don't we have a 4-wheeler with a V-plow?
Can we go buy a 4-wheeler?
No.
Because we use skid steers instead of 4-wheelers.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, all right. So yeah. So okay. Advantages and disadvantages. We got to talk about here is I think on a straight blade is just that. I mean, you're gonna be able to windrow snow. You're gonna be able to move it around. And if you're doing streets or you're doing smaller properties, things like that, on that straight blade, I think that's just fine. If you're back dragging a little bit here and there and you're mostly driving forward, moving snow from left to right or right to left, straight blade's going to be fantastic.
So I kind of think you should start with a straight blade. And the reason is if you never learn to plow with that first, you have a longer learning curve. The
That's
V-plow is going to make certain things a lot easier. And you never know when you need to know how to do things with the straight blade. Would I use one today? Yeah, I'd use it. I wouldn't buy it. I would buy, a V-blade or an XLS or some power plow. But taking the knowledge you learn by learning, growing up in your industry with a straight blade it will help you tremendously moving forward.
Yeah. Well, and I got to believe that that's probably in line with, and again, I mean, being a grass guy, Brent, you might be able to, shed a little more light on this though. But if you've got, something, a zero turn that you're riding on versus one that's got a Velke versus one that's got the little step on the back and you ride on it. I mean, I'm sure that you start with this and then you move to that kind of progression so that you can appreciate the bells and whistles on the bigger ones as you work your way up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. When I started out, we had all straight blades, and then one of our trucks, we put the pin on wings on the truck, and then I was just blown away. I'm like, what? How did that little wing suddenly make that truck so much better? It really irritated me because it wasn't on the truck I was driving, but it was one of my guys. And when one of my guys outdid me, we're a little bit of a competition. So that was a big eye-opening experience, but that guy was good because he knew how to plow, not because of the wings.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so often we see people who buy this expensive equipment and they're still not efficient because they still don't understand the idea or the process.
Yeah.
And then, get a lot of guys who just do, doing homeowners associations is great. I've done tons of them. I have nothing against them. But if that's all you ever do, you still don't know how to plow a parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're
so
not going to appreciate what the V-plow can do for you.
Yeah, you don't need a V-plow in a subdivision.
Right. Oh, yeah. No.
I mean, yes, you can use it. I've done it. I've had V-plows. I've used them in there. Yeah, you can do some things that make your life a little quicker and better, but it didn't make you a ton more money.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
fair. In parking lots, if you're gonna use a V-plow, I mean, that's where they're gonna shine a little better.
Yeah. So I think that we can agree that that the best way to start out is going to be with that straight blade and get it on, learn how to use that.
It's also your best price point.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So, and especially if this is your first setup, you may not be looking to spend the money it costs to buy a brand new plow. So you're looking for something used.
Yeah.
Well, I have not seen hardly any used half-ton V-plows on the market.
Right.
That just doesn't really come up.
No.
Well, and I'm looking at here. So the HT series Fisher is a 7'6" straight blade, half ton, rated for half ton. Its list price this year is $4,650. Whereas you go with a 7.6 mild steel EZV that'll go on a half ton truck, you're $8,700. So you're a lot more expensive for that V-plow. And realistically, I don't know that at with that size of a truck on those kind of accounts that V-plow is going to make that much of a difference. Realistically,
a 7.5 foot V-blade really is small.
Yeah.
I mean, the V-blade does a great job when you're just driving around town or you're salting. It gets out of the way. You're not having to move that blade left and right as you're manipulating your way through a parking lot.
Yeah.
And that's really handy. But there's not a lot of gain here.
Yeah, I think that the biggest advantage I can think of for having a V-plow on a half-ton truck is if you're running a large walk screw and that walk screw is moving a tremendous amount of snow off of the sidewalk into that main drive lane, and then you got to move that out. I mean, I used my V-plow for that a ton. And that was really, really, really handy, was being able to do some cleanup work there.
Yeah, but that might be a progression thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think most guys are not going to start out on properties like that.
No, oh yeah, no, and that's kind of what I'm saying is while it's a possibility, until you're doing large complexes where you have to deal with something like that, man, that straight blade on there is going to be great. And the other thing is, if you can get yourself into somewhere where that half ton is important because of its weight, well, now you're able to put a rubber edge on that thing really, really easily, and now you can go do parking garages, or you can do things that have got decorative coatings or things like that, where you're not, the weight of your truck isn't going to be a big problem, and you can put a rubber edge on super, super fast and easy and be able to take care of those kinds of properties.
Makes a lot of sense.
It does. It's like we've done this before.
A couple times.
Man, this feels really informative.
Yeah.
Not a lot on the funny, though.
Or answering Mr. Aaron's question.
Yeah, I know. Did you say Mr. Aaron?
Yeah.
Huh. My daughter has a, not my daughter anymore, she just graduated, but the school district where we are has a Mr. Aaron's that's a orchestra teacher.
Wow.
But it's not Aaron.
Aaron's?
Yeah. God, see, that wasn't even funny.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, yeah. Should have given you the button. Man. That'd have been a lot better. Oh, well. Hey, you know what else?
What's that?
We got to take a commercial break.
Oh, commercial time.
Number 2. Here we go.
Dose.
Creating art from darkness. For over 20 years, Cast Lighting has designed and manufactured the world's most durable, energy-efficient, and technically advanced landscape lighting products available at astonishingly affordable prices. Cast offers an all-encompassing line of products with everything you need to get the job done. Cast Landscape, their most durable product, is best-in-class, low-voltage landscape lighting made of solid bronze with integrated and drop-in LED technology. These fixtures are built to endure the most demanding environments. Source Lighting, a new division by Cast, is your source for professional grand landscape lighting made of durable brass, offering both integrated and drop-in LED technology, and backed by Cast, the world's most durable outdoor lighting. Cast Lighting gives you innovative, state-of-the-art, old-world craftsmanship with tomorrow's technology. Visit their website at cast-lighting.com today. That's cast-lighting.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, no one rocks like Turf's Up Radio. Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Hardworking hands reach for Gemplers for pro-grade landscape tools and gear. Much like our customers, Gemplers is family-owned and independent, which makes it easy to shop online and get your orders shipped quickly from our warehouse straight to your front door. Rather speak to a human? No worries. Gemplers always answers your call. Shop Gemplers for supplies from tools to tree care, safety to sprayers, watering to workwear, and even add your logo for free to show your customers that you're serious. Right now, buy any 2 pairs of work gloves and get a 3rd pair free. Mix and match, no limit, stock up for spring. Shop Gemplers.com. That's GEMPLERS.com.
Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Weekend Review.
The Weekend Review. The Weekend Review.
Join King Darren and all of your favorite Turf's Up radio hosts, including Heculus, Eric, the Turf Teacher Jones, Brian.
My name is not Brian.
Ryan Lee, Wayne the Prophet Bowles,
One opportunity.
his son Daniel, Brooke Ford, the Green Veteran,
Giddy up.
and many more. Join us live as we unpack the week and share what you may have missed live on Turf's Up Radio. That's the Weekend Review, Saturdays, 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. Oh, yeah.
I wanted to, though.
See, I just did it.
Kind of suckered yourself into that.
Sure did. Man, if I'd have thought that through. You know what? If I'd have had a plan.
You would have been just fine. Instead, you set yourself up.
Sure did. Sure did. You know what? I think this segment's going to be a lot funnier.
Oh, okay.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because we're going to talk about putting spreaders in a half-ton truck.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
My favorite.
Man, so, yeah, this is where it gets fun. Like,
I love spreaders.
This is, yeah, so if you've been doing snow for any amount of time and you follow any social media on snow, right? You've seen the pictures.
Those pictures.
The spreaders in the back of trucks that, well, shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
Truck smashed, salt laying all over the beds. That gets real bad.
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
That gets real bad. And on a half ton, you really got to pay attention to that because it's not just the suspension, right? You overload that thing. You've got, talk a little, Zach. So Zach is, the man of many mechanical knowledges, right? What do you think of that?
That's a really long title.
Man of many mechanical knowledges.
I want to see that on a business card.
Yeah. Can we get that on a business card?
Just talk to Nicole.
Okay. I'll do it.
You're like, hey, I need new cards.
I need this on my card.
There you go. So when I first loaded up my half ton, I put I had a tailgate spreader on there, and I would just go in and I'd have them, dump bulk salt in the bed of the truck, and I'd shovel it into the spreader, which we'll talk about in a minute why that was such a bad idea. Yeah. But that was real bad.
That was the first failure.
Sure was. but what my thinking was, okay, my suspension is rated at, whatever the weight is. So, as long as I take care of the suspension, I'm good. Threw some airbags in it. No, I put little stiffener jobbies in there.
Oh boy. Okay.
And thought it was no problem. Right.
Right.
Talking about like Timberins or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And there were these little like triangle shaped rubber gizmos that I put in there between the, and I am not the master of mechanical thingamajabbers, but yeah, I don't know that they were necessarily Timberins. It was basically
there's a few other versions of that.
Yeah, just a rubber stopper that when I got enough weight in it, it just instead of overstretching the springs, it just sat right there on the axle.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna fix, get some 10-ply tires on there and put these suckers on there, and I'll be good to go.
Yep.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. Do you want to tell the fine folks what all I missed?
Yes, that's a really bad idea.
Yeah.
For a couple different reasons, depending on how your truck is outfitted. First and foremost, yes, if you do that and put the Timberins in or something like that, and the 10-ply tires, that's great. Your truck will hold the weight up for the most part. Your frame isn't really made to hold that kind of weight in the bed of the truck, which is why we have payload capacities and things like that.
And also a really good source of material online when these trucks break in half.
Right. And we see it here. We actually saw it here last year. We did see that come through the shop.
What?
Yeah, we saw that come through the shop.
Of a cracked frame?
Yes.
That wasn't one of our trucks though.
No, it was not one of our trucks. It came in for
Okay.
It actually came in for repair.
Oh, to the frame?
Can you fix this? No, was the answer.
No. So what actually happened with that? Did the guy put a spreader in there or something and snapped it or what?
Yeah, so it was a half-ton truck with upgraded shocks, not upgraded springs. There is a difference. He put upgraded shocks on it with a 2-yard gas-powered stainless steel spreader in the bed.
I don't think the shocks helped at all.
The shocks didn't help even a little bit. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
oh man.
It was quite the sight to see. So what I'll explain to you what the driver of that truck kind of explained to me was, not only was it obviously too much for the frame of the truck, but when you have so much weight on the back of the truck, you actually reduce the amount of weight on the steer axle of the truck. So all of your steering capabilities are slowly going down with the more weight you put in the back. Does that make sense?
Yep. I know a guy that told me a story once that he was driving a dump truck.
Yeah.
And he had the pusher axle down and then dumped and then didn't lift the push axle.
Uh-huh.
And then had a real hard time steering getting on the highway.
Yeah. It's a lot like that. And especially if you have snow on the ground, you're basically going to be on skis.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get that traction on the front end to give you that steering capability.
Which is bad.
It's not good.
It's not good. So you lose steering on the front.
Yep.
You put extra stress on the frame.
Yep.
The shocks are going to have, well, if you upgrade the springs, you're going to have shock problems. If you upgrade the shocks, you have spring problems.
If you upgrade the shocks, it's going to make almost no difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zero.
Yeah, shocks are for that rebound whenever you hit a bump.
Yeah.
It's so you don't feel so much of that.
It's not rebounding if it's smashed.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Well, and the other thing too, that for, I mean, call it, maybe I was lucky or whatnot, but I didn't have any of those problems. The problem that I had and that I didn't think through was that when that truck was built, right? So you've got everything from the engine all the way back to the tires, right? Mm-hmm. Everything in there is rated for a certain weight carrying capacity, right? So, I mean, your internal engine components, transfer case, drivetrain, U-joints, I mean, everything that has any torque or any pressure on it whatsoever when you're driving on that half-ton truck is designed to carry half-ton weight. You overload it, and all of that now is overstressed, right?
Extremely overstressed, and so that's our forward propulsion that we're messing with there. And on the other side of that, your truck is also not made to stop that much weight.
Right.
So when you come up to that red light, or you have that car that's in a snowstorm. That
No, it's snowing. Red lights don't matter.
Okay, fair. You come up.
See the look on Brent's face.
That car going through the intersection cares.
Vroom.
Okay, so you're coming through
the stop sign.
You're coming through that optional.
There you go.
Stopping.
Oh, is that the one with the white line around the edges?
Sure.
That's why it's optional, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the guy in the Prius doesn't understand that in a snowstorm red lights don't matter. So he go ahead and takes what it normally would be his turn, and you got to stop. You're gonna have a problem getting that truck to stop
because you just the discs and rotors and drums. I mean everything. I mean your entire braking system is not designed to stop that kind of weight.
Right. Exactly.
Right? Yep. Okay. Got it. So then you're gonna wind up. I mean, even so now, if you've got like an analog brake system on there, does that? I mean, I'm assuming that's going to be affected as well, right?
Right. So you're gonna punch the brakes, and chances are you're actually not going to apply enough hydraulic pressure to lock those wheels up. So the ABS shouldn't even matter at that point.
Right, because you can't. Because in order to lock the wheels up, you'd have to be able to put enough pressure on the brake system to actually stop the wheels from turning,
right?
Which you're not going to be able to do because there's so much force on those wheels and the momentum on the wheels is so high that you're not going to be able to get it to where it would even lock up if it could.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, the Prius is going to get smoked.
Yeah, the Prius is going to have a bad day.
Boom.
You don't have a boom on the button?
You know what? I just looked. I don't. I mean, no. I really need to get better sounds on here.
We'll work on that.
That's lame.
Homework.
Maybe that's show like 12.
Yeah.
12. We'll have better stuff in there.
More buttons.
Yeah. So okay. So let's say you've got too big of a Salter on there, and so you've got problem stopping.
Yep.
Problem going forward.
Yep.
You got problem with your. I mean, internal engine components are going to be under too much stress. All your transfer components, your drivetrain, that's going to be all under too much stress.
Yep.
Your rear suspension is going to be bad. Your front. You know what? I've got it. I just figured it out.
What's that?
Your radio will be fine.
Your radio will probably be okay.
I think. Yep.
You're going to need it to be okay, so you don't hear all the creaking and cracking and rattles, and all the rattles that's coming from all the heavy weight.
Yeah. So okay, so let's say that that you do put like a 3/4 ton spring on there, right, or something like that. So you upgrade the springs, you get that set. There's no real way to change that half-ton truck's rating to where you're going to be able to use that truck with a large V-box and do it effectively without really damaging the truck, right?
No, and it wouldn't be cost efficient to do that.
Right.
Not at all.
Okay, got it. Well, that makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna we still need to get into some of the differences on the actual spreaders themselves, but so we're gonna get into that here in the next segment. But why don't we just go ahead and break a little early?
Break.
It's fine. Break a little early.
Break
a little. God.
Break a little.
Dang, now
Break a little.
Big Boy did it.
What?
Big Boy did it. Have you not seen Dick Tracy? Never did it.
My mind went somewhere else when I heard that.
What are you drinking?
If yours did as well, email us at podcast@swintergroup.com.
Podcast@swintergroup.com.
That's what I said. Podcast.
That's right.
At swintergroup.com.
You did say that. I just said it again.
Brent didn't say it though.
I didn't think I needed to. You guys are doing a pretty good job covering that.
All right, here we go.
Fed up with your current software solution? FieldRoutes is the cloud-based software technology you need to level up your lawn care business. From routing to scheduling, collections, marketing, reporting, and more. It's the all-in-one solution that automates, not complicates. FieldRoutes helps lawn care companies simplify, scale, and grow. Schedule your free demo today by visiting fieldroutes.com. That's fieldroutes.com.
You're listening to Turf's Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Hey everybody, Wayne Voles, the Prophet, your host of Profit Time here on Turf's Up Radio. If you listen to my show, you know I'm all about profit. As an industry, profit is something we fail to meet most of the time. If you're working hard but not seeing the results that you deserve, Profits Unlimited is here to help. We offer processes and systems designed specifically to make your company more successful, more profitable, and certainly more efficient. When you're ready to take your company to the next level, reach out to me at profitsareus.com. That's profitsareus.com. And don't forget to turn into Profit Time every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m.
Are you a military family with a spouse on deployment away from home? Did you know that nonprofit Project Evergreen has thousands of volunteers across the country ready to help military families with lawn, landscape, and snow removal services? We call it Green Care and Snow Care for troops. If you are a military family and would like to receive this free service, or if you'd like to volunteer to help, visit projectevergreen.org. Project Evergreen, creating a greener, healthier, cooler Earth, 1 yard at a time.
A greener, healthier, cooler Earth.
One snowplow at a time.
There you go.
Well, if it's cooler, that means more snow.
Yes, it does.
So more earning opportunity.
I always
increased
support that.
profit.
Increased profitability. Or at least more money.
More money.
I mean, yeah. That'd be good, right?
I'd like more money.
I think we all would.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, especially with inflation right now. I think we need it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
no kidding.
Well, they just print more, right? That's how that works. They just print more money and just give it away.
What if I
You know
even? What if I bring the trees over? Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting
Let's get
on,
bad.
We're getting on that line right there.
That's on that line.
That's that line.
That's right.
They're still trying to find out what salt spreader to put in this truck.
Yeah, we got to hear more from our listeners to know, what type of political topics we should and shouldn't get into, right?
That's right.
Next thing you know, like we're going to fast forward this thing like 2 years, and it's going to be all politics and religion. It'll be great.
Oh, we won't even talk about snow anymore?
Nah, why not? We'll just do everything we can to make everybody angry.
I think that's the way to
If that gets us listeners, then yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's fair. So yeah. So all right. So we're talking about the truck, and while we were at commercial, we were talking that there have been model years where the manufacturers went from half ton to 1 ton, and so they in their truck, I guess model line, right? So they had a heavy half ton. And even though it's marketed as a heavy half ton, that does not mean it's a Super Duty and you can put a bunch of weight on it, right?
Right.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So salt spreader on the truck. So we got the plow covered. We got to get the spreader covered. So okay. So you got a couple options here. The tailgate salter. They've got their pros and cons. I mean, the biggest pro to a tailgate salter is the affordability. Kinda.
Almost.
Because they're not as less expensive as you think.
Brand new, they seem to be really expensive, but you can get a really good deal on one used. It seems like
please be careful.
They lose half their value instantly whenever you go to resell them. And, because it's not a big market. Nobody is out there going, I need to find 10 tailgate spreaders this year.
Right.
Well,
and the other thing too is the tailgate spreaders. I mean, I think that because they're lighter weight. You're more likely to think that you can just He-Man that thing out of the receiver hitch or off the back of the truck, and then you drop it because it's too heavy for you.
Yeah.
Or
I never had that problem.
Well, you go to the gym every morning. By the way, ladies, Brent is our eye candy. So when this becomes an audio and visual thing, everybody will be happy Brent's here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, dude, you and I we are not the eye candy.
No. I'll bring Kevin in. Kevin's awesome.
Kevin's awesome.
Kevin's my dog, by the way.
Kevin's a brand new puppy.
Congratulations. Just over 2 months old.
Nice. Okay, so
tailgate spreaders.
Tailgate spreaders that are not named Kevin.
Unless you name yours Kevin, which is fine.
There is definitely pros and cons to having tailgate spreaders. One thing I liked about it is you knew exactly to the pound how much salt you threw on each property.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're loading 50-pound bags in that thing,
Unless you're Ken and you just shovel it in.
Well...
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So let's say you've got yourself a tailgate salter and you think, well, gosh, a pallet. Here, let me get a calculator. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So you got a pallet of ice melt or just rock salt. What's a pallet of rock salt selling for these days? Call it $300.
Yeah, just short of.
Right. So you're at $300 a ton ish for that pallet of bagged rock salt.
Yeah.
Or you can go get you a ton of bulk rock salt for $85.
Yeah, anywhere from 85 to 120,
$100,
depending on the time of year and where you're buying it.
Yeah, so I mean, less than half of your cost. So, which is what I thought. I was like, well, man, this is going to work great, right? So you go get the bulk salt, you dump it in the bed, and you shovel that stuff into the spreader. The problem is the bulk salt is not as well refined, and by refined I mean sifted. So, if anybody has done any cooking or even, made you mac and cheese, so you dump the macaroni in the colander and all the water runs out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, you gotta mac and cheese.
Oh, man.
With tuna.
You got to do it with tuna.
You know what? The salmon was delicious.
Was it?
Yeah, you get a little salmon packet. Drop that in with the mac and cheese.
I think you just snapped a couple necks with how hard you guys just made a turn off that topic.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, fair. I brought up mac and chease, man. It was
tasty, though.
Had it for lunch.
Anyway.
So when that product is manufactured and gets sifted out, the bag product doesn't have as much fine material in it. Well, that fine material does not flow as well as some of the bigger granules do. And so that therein lies the problem, is that bulk product is generally not what is meant to go through those spreaders, and then it clogs up and you got to dig it out, and it's a giant pain in the butt.
There are tailgate spreaders that are meant to handle that, but they cost more, and they have a conveyor belt built into them.
Yeah. Yep.
And
those are the same price as a V-Box.
Pretty stinking close.
Could you look, because we got some pricing here.
I'm on it.
Zach, if you could look up what we're looking at for a nice tailgate salter that can handle bulk versus an in-bed salter, something like a V-Box that you're going to drop bulk in. But, I think that when you're talking about the V-Boxes, they are bigger, they are bulkier, they're heavier, they're harder to move around. But I think that with those challenges comes a little higher level of respect for the equipment, because now you have to think through, where am I going to store this thing? Where am I going to put it? How am I going to get it in and out? All of those are questions that you have to answer, because you can't just yeet that sucker out of the back of the truck and let it hit the ground.
Yeah, with the tailgate spreader.
Plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot more control over how much weight you have in the bed of your truck. It's harder to get away from you.
Right.
When you have a V-Box in the bed of your truck, you just say, load it up. And the next thing you know, you've got 4,000 pounds of salt in the hopper.
Right.
And your truck looks like it's about ready to die.
Yeah. So you got to get, if you're going to put a V-Box or any kind of hopper style spreader in your half ton, you have to get one that's small enough that it can only hold enough salt that you're not going to be putting the truck at risk.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's big. Did you figure out the numbers?
I did. So
what you got?
For they call it a 2-stage is the tailgate spreader that we're referring to that feeds the material. We're just gonna go down to the standard. The standard version of that spreader is $4,577.
Okay.
And if we go with your typical tailgate spreader with a simple on-off for the same size, is $2,351.
Okay. So you're talking, so it's about half.
Yeah.
Okay. So now in that first one, that 2-stage, that was still a 2-stage tailgate though, right?
That's a 2-stage tailgate.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's say you're going to spend $4,500 to have a tailgate salter that you can run bulk salt through. Whereas if you go to drop a V-Box on there or even a small hopper spreader, you're right in that same ballpark.
Yeah, you're
right?
really close. I'm gonna reference that real quick.
Yeah. So that's something to consider, is that if you're going to make that transition from, say, your straight tailgate salter up to a 2-stage salter, that's still going to be a tailgate. You might look at one of the smaller V-Boxes. No,
maybe not.
No, is that another one that changed?
Well, yeah, we're getting surprised. Like we said in earlier episodes, the prices and availability are changing almost daily.
The one thing I'd like to point out when looking at these prices is that we're working with list price here, but that does not mean sale price.
Right.
List price here is pretty awful looking, but if you were to call, I'm sure there would be something that would be much more appropriate.
That's fair. Yeah.
And that would make this conversation make a lot more sense.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the reason why we're using list though is for a couple of reasons. One, not knowing what your local dealer is able to do. We don't want to be sending out numbers that are unattainable. So the list is a good starting point for all that stuff. So
if we look at that 0.7 yard, which is probably a pretty good starting point
Yep.
in a half ton truck,
Yeah.
0.7 yard full electric, you're looking at right at $8,200.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's stainless steel model. So I mean, there are some higher numbers on that with it being a stainless steel version.
Wow.
But yeah, the 0.7 is probably the way to go for a half-ton truck.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Now, whereas you can get if you went to a yard and a half, now that's something that's going to be less expensive than that, because that 0.7 yard is it's a lot packed into a little package, because it's such a specialized little piece. That's going to be more expensive. So on your no. What?
Yeah, that's less than a yard and a half. But again, we're talking list price.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, so a 1.5 yard, so double the capacity, 89.46.
Okay, so okay, gotcha. Got it. All right, so fair enough. So then on your half-ton pickup, and you're getting started, you got a half-ton pickup, tailgate really seems to be the way to go.
If you're starting out, for sure.
Single stage tailgate.
Yeah.
Then you're going to use bag product on that. So your material cost is going to be a little bit higher, but you're going to be able to track it a little bit better. You're going to be able to know exactly what you're doing. You're going to be into that realistically, I mean, if you're going to do a single stage tailgate spreader, you're going to be on the high end, $2,500.
Yeah. And that's for a real nice unit.
Yeah. But you can pick them up used for probably, I mean, I'm
half
left. That. Yeah. I mean, a grand-ish for something that's still in pretty good shape. So that would give you a pretty solid piece of equipment that you can plow with, you can de-ice with, and be able to get your feet wet and get into that business.
Oh yeah, start making that money, that profit.
Into business.
One thing I would encourage anyone who's buying these tailgate spreaders is to get one that still has a variable speed. On that spinner. There's a lot of these we'll see it's with two options. One is on-off, and one is with a variable speed controller. Even with the tailgate, having a variable speed controller is very handy. When you're driving between cars, being able to spin that down and not, hammer down on all the cars will help you out a lot, and then being able to control that flow if you're getting into tight areas and not just peppering the ground with all that salt.
Just salting in general too, it's pretty common for vehicles to have little rock chips on the front, on the grill, or on low points on the front of a vehicle. It's pretty common to have little chips, little dings on them, and inevitably somebody has those little chips and dings, and they're hanging out in the parking lot waiting for the salt truck to go by, write down the name off the side of the truck, and then they're going to call you and say you did that to their car. And and I know that we've certainly gotten those calls, and that's a really uncomfortable conversation. We had to do we could do a whole show on bogus claims from people and how to kind of deal with that. In fact, I'm gonna write that down. You guys talk for a second.
Take notes.
Say something interesting, Zach.
Interesting.
I've seen guys. My own guys were out salting a large big box store. It's going through the parking lot. Cars would pull up behind the truck as it's salting into the salt spread path behind the truck.
Nice.
And just stay there as if nothing was happening.
So what you're saying is, you shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't do that, but people are dumb. Is the bigger point. So do as much as you can to protect yourself against stupid people.
Maybe spend a little money for some warning signals on the truck too.
Blinky lights,
flashy lights.
In this situation, nothing was going to save that person, but yes, that helps you out a lot.
If you have the lights on the truck, I did everything I could to make them aware of what I was doing.
Oh yeah.
Every little bit helps.
Extra backup lights, auxiliary lights, so you can see the salt when you're spreading at night. Flashing lights that are visible 360 degrees is extremely important.
Yeah.
It's at some point you will find yourself backing out onto traffic or in the wrong direction, and people need to understand that you may not be moving with the flow of traffic.
Right.
Some places there's like a law for that, right? Like if you're operating a snow removal.
Every state is different with that. Some states require certain color lights. Other states are more lenient on that.
So check your local codes.
Yeah, and I think
don't.
Or
you'll find out eventually.
Yeah, like red lights are optional. Yeah.
And that's actually something really important, because there are some states that will pull over a snowplow truck and weigh him. And if he's over his plates or over his legal limit, you're going to get a hefty fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what truck. I mean, Missouri isn't one of those states right now, but I know there's a number of states that do that, and they're more in the snow belt where they're more used to getting snow.
Yeah.
Around here, during a storm, if you have a plow on, they seem to leave you alone unless you're really breaking law pretty hard.
You know what else we got to do?
What we got to do?
We got to leave listeners alone. It's time.
Aww.
We're out of time. You believe that crap? It just poof went by. We didn't even get to a whole section.
No, we didn't.
Man.
We missed the end.
Yes, we did. Well, Aaron, we're going to get back to, more of that. Not today, but maybe next week we'll do another one. So, anyway. So, from Swinter Group's headquarters here in St. Louis, Missouri, Ken Bogeman, Zach Frame, Brent Reeder, we're here chatting. Really appreciate everybody listening. Thanks very much. Shoot us something over to Swinter Group. No, podcast. Podcast. Podcast at swintergroup.com. Love to hear from you. Thanks very much. Have a great one. Enjoy the reverb.